Yo, yo, what's up? It's your boy RC again, coming at you with the Boxer 411. This is my post-fight reaction, my post-fight reaction to what happened with Carissa Sheilds and old girl Ivana Hazabin. I believe that's her name, Hazabin. Ivana Hazabin. First of all, let me start off with the first fight. Under the first fight of the card, which was Napoleon Espinosa versus Cedarus, something like that. Cedarus. I hope I'm saying her name right. That was an interesting fight. That was a very interesting fight. Espinosa did look like she came there to get it in, but Cedarus was too much for Espinosa. That length, her reach, and she had more power than Espinosa. It was a pretty good strapping fight though, because them girls came to fight. Espinosa definitely came to get down. You know what I'm saying? She did her thing, and Cedarus did her thing. But Cedarus dropped Espinosa in the second round with a left. She hit with a left and dazed her, rocked her. And the old girl, you know what I'm saying, tumbled on her ass. But Espinosa got back up, and she put on a hell of a fight. And it was a very close fight. Espinosa started hitting her as the rounds were going on, especially after the fifth round. She was really tagging Cedarus with some nice combinations, and she made the fight a very close fight. And Cedarus won by split decision. You know, 95-94 on all three judges' scorecard. It was a very entertaining fight. I'm going to watch it again. I thought it was very strapping. Looked like to me, Espinosa did enough, though, to get a draw. You know what I'm saying? I think she did enough to get a draw. But I think that knockdown was the difference in that fight, because they both was throwing some mean punches. They both was connecting. She did rock Cedarus. You know what I'm saying? She rocked Cedarus during the fight, too. I forget what round it was. I'm thinking it was the 8th round or something like that. She rocked, Espinosa rocked Cedarus. And she's making the fight very compelling, very, more close. It was all action. That fight was action. Them little minute-and-a-half round fights, man, it'd be action-packed. But if they had 3-minute rounds, I wonder how that fight would have turned out. And who knows? Maybe Cedarus probably would have got the knockout if it was 3 minutes. The rounds were 3 minutes for the women's fight. Nevertheless, split decision win. Not split decision win. Unanimous decision win for Cedarus, who is now the unified champion at 168. I believe it was. Yeah. Now I want to tell you about Ennis versus Eyubov. Eyubov. I don't know how to say this dude's name. Eyubov. Now, that fight went like I thought it would. I mean, Ennis, straight cleaned him out. Eyubov was rushing. He was rushing Ennis with it. He was rushing him, putting pressure on Ennis. Ennis was fighting orthodox, and he switched and started fighting him southpaw. And he started really popping Eyubov. He was tearing that head up, because Eyubov was using his head for defense. He was using his head for defense, you know what I'm saying? It's like the dude was walking in with his head down and shit. And he wasn't looking. He was walking in like trying to look like Joe Frazier, throwing left hooks. He loved the left hook. And he did tag Jaron Ennis quite a few times in this fight. You know, that lets me know Jaron Ennis got a pretty good beard. Because he did put a lot of pressure on Jaron, on Ennis, on Boots. And Boots knocked that ass down, though, the first round. You know, he put a lot of pressure on Ennis, on Boots. You know, Boots Ennis. And you know, he really didn't land no punch. Eyubov didn't land no punch in the first round. Boots knocked his ass down twice in the first round. You know what I'm saying? He's fucking him up. Yeah, you know, Boots was too fast, the combinations. He was too fast. His hands way too fast for Eyubov. And Ennis did what he's supposed to do in that fight. I mean, it was just target practice for Boots Ennis. It was just target practice for Boots. Second round, Eyubov was pushing more pressure. He pushing it again, more pressure on Boots. Boots started popping on him, popping on his ass. Steady popping on him. And Eyubov was, you know, throwing punches in between and catching Boots, you know, with some good punches, but they was few and far in between. Because Boots was cleaning his clock with mean combinations. You know what I'm saying? You know, Boots Ennis was just tapping his ass. He was just raining on his ass, just dancing on him. But he had to start pacing himself because he exerted a lot of energy in rounds 1 and 2. You know, because he thought he was going to get old Eyubov out of there. Boots did, you know what I'm saying, during those times. He turned it up. But he exerted a lot of energy. So he started, you know, like trying to pace himself towards the end of the second round. And he was getting hit as well by Eyubov. And by the time the third round came, Boots had paced himself. And he was throwing his combinations and popping Eyubov. And Eyubov was like, you know, like bring it on. You know what I'm saying? I guess he got used to getting, you know, started absorbing Ennis' punches, you know, Boots Ennis' punches. He was absorbing those punches by Ennis. And, but he was taking a lot of hits. You know, Ennis was hitting him everywhere. The body, the head. He was like a bee. He was just getting hit everywhere. But to my surprise, Eyubov was still fighting. He was still putting up a good, you know, his pressure on Ennis. And he was still fighting. And he tagged him pretty good. You know, Ennis in the third round, he landed some really solid shots. The most shots he landed in the third round. You know what I'm saying? Against Ennis. Fourth round came. He been taking, you know, Eyubov was taking so much punishment, getting hit and using his head as for his defense. The ref stopped the fight. The ref stopped the fight in the fourth round because he, you know, the commission stopped the fight, not the ref. The commission, you know, told the ref to stop the fight. They stopped the fight because Eyubov was just getting tired. He was getting rocked. He was getting popped. You know what I'm saying? And them punches was just looking very, very devastating. You know, he was fucking Eyubov up. He ain't gonna even stunt. You know what I'm saying? He was just winding up and fucking Eyubov up. And I guess the commission saw that, and his defense was very lacking. He had no defense. Eyubov had no defense. If he just learned to get some defense, he might be able to do some things. But he ain't have no defense. It's like I said, his head was his defense. And he was getting hit in that motherfucker often by Boots Ennis. So the ref, you know, was compelled to stop the fight. But I really wished, you know, the fight had went on, because it seemed like, you know, Ennis was going to learn from this. You know, I would have liked to have known what would have happened if the fight was allowed to keep going to the least, I would say, the 6th round. After 6, there were no changes, then You know, him stopping, I would understand. You know, if he studied tagging this dude and fucking him up, I would understand. But I really would have liked him to see what would have happened as the fight would have kept on going to that point, to the 6th round at least, and see how Bruce Ennis would have had reacted or adjusted to Eyubov still being around. You know what I'm saying? Because it looked like to me Ennis was you know, he's a little bit tired. He wasn't too tired, but he was a little tired. I think he threw a lot of punches in that first, second round. So it looked like Ennis might have jumped out of there a little, doing too much, trying to, impress and making a good impression. He probably might have did too much, expanded too much energy. You know what I'm saying? Exhausted himself just a little bit, but not when he couldn't fight. You know what I'm saying? But I really would have. I think that fight would have got interesting if he could have went at least 6, 7 rounds. I think it would have got very interesting because Eyubov was starting to come on with his head and still with punches. He started landing more punches. You know what I'm saying? Because Ennis had to keep him off of him. He had to keep him off of him. And Ennis was doing a real good job popping his ass, hitting him, in the punch he wanted to hit him with. But like I said, it'd been very interesting to see what would have happened if that fight was able to continue to go on. But kudos to Bruce Ennis. I don't think that this was a really good step-up fight for him because we didn't get the chance to really find out Bruce Ennis' constitution. You dig? We didn't get to find out how deep he would have to go with, meeting resistance from Eyubov. Now, if he meet a fighter that was like Eyubov but had defense and could pop back, that's going to be a very interesting fight. I'd like to see how Bruce Ennis do against some of these contenders. I'd like to see him in there with a Jesse Vargas or Jose Cito Lopez or, I think he got the skill to beat Keith Thurman. I think he could beat Keith Thurman. I think Bruce Ennis could beat the Keith Thurman. But, that's just my opinion. I would love to see how that fight go. But they believe that Bruce Ennis, his father believes that Bruce Ennis is definitely up there with Spence and Crawford. You know what I'm saying? He thinks that his son is up there with them. He thinks that he compete on that level. But he ain't been in there with no dogs yet. And it'd be interesting to see how Ennis hold up against a real dog, I'd even like to see him do something with Adrian Granados. That would be a good fight, to see how Bruce Ennis do with that. But I think that he'll clear Adrian Granados because his hands is too fast. He got good power. And I think he'll wear Adrian Granados out. I really believe that. So that probably wouldn't be such a great step-up fight for him. But it still would be something to see. I definitely believe he'll beat Adrian Broner. No doubt about it. Because once Adrian Broner start getting hit, Adrian Broner, Adrian Broner will stop. He'll keep his hands at home. Adrian Broner he do that. He has a tendency to do that a lot. Nevertheless, Ennis won the fight, and kudos to him. Now, Clarissa Sheilds versus Ivana Hazabin was good. That was a good fight. Didn't go like Clarissa Shields thought it would, but Clarissa Shields put on a hell of a performance. And she basically had her way with old girl, what has been. She had her way with her. You know, Clarissa Shields started out with that jab, and she was throwing like 2 and 3 jabs at a time. She's throwing jabs all the time. She could have won the fight just on the jab alone. Because she was sticking, hasn't been with that jab. She was keeping the jab in her face. She kept that stick in her face. And I just believe if Clarissa Shields would have sit on her punches more, or didn't throw so many punches, and, you know, and she just, you know, she took a page out of Floyd Mayweather's book or something and just hit her with some eye-popping punches, you know, that's going to really rock her. I believe she probably could have hurt her and got a stoppage out of this fight. Because Clarissa Shields was really, she beat the brakes off her Hazabin. She beat her ass easily boxing her. But I really wanted to see her stop Hazabin. I wanted to see her, like, put her on the canvas. And she did get a knockdown, you know what I'm saying? She did drop Hazabin in the 6th round with a body shot. You know, she hit her with a left hook to the body, and Hazabin went down. And that shot really hurt her. But what made me mad is when, you know, she could have stopped her. It was the 6th round now. Clarissa Shields said she's going to stop her by the 6th or before the 6th. But when she hurt Hazabin with that body shot, she, you know, she didn't go back to that side. She didn't go back. She didn't go back to throwing that left to the body again, you know, or digging in. She didn't do the penitentiary style on her, like old boy from Tank Davis trainer, Calvin. She didn't do the penitentiary style to this chick. She should have went all in with that left hook to the body and went back there and just buried on her, just stayed on that body. You know what I'm saying? Because she could have probably stopped her had she gone back to that body, but Clarissa Shields was looking for headshots too much. She was head hunting, and she could have stopped her with a body shot. I was mad. I was kind of livid because I wanted her to go back to this woman's body on the right side. Go back, throw that left to that body again. Set her up. You know, go back to that body. You know what I'm saying? She had her. She had that body shot, put her down. Why didn't she go back to it? It's beyond me. It just really pissed me off. But nevertheless, it was still a good fight. Hazabin did try to show some grit. She did try to show, she's pretty tough. She took a lot of shots. She got rocked quite a few times in the fight. But she came back and she was throwing punches at Sheilds, and she was hitting Sheilds in the head a few times. But she kind of held on Sheilds a lot. She leaned on her a lot. She smothered her own work. You know what I'm saying? And Sheilds sometimes let her lean on her, and as Sheilds laid up on the ropes. I didn't care for that, because I wanted Sheilds to, you know, to set her up somehow with an uppercut, a massive right uppercut. You know what I'm saying? You know, something massive. You know, she'd have jabbed her to the stomach, or double jab to the stomach, and feint to the left and came back up with a right uppercut. You know, probably would have knocked her out. I wanted to see that. I wanted to see that, man. But I didn't get what I wanted. Nevertheless, Clarissa Shields did make history, because she beat this chick, you know, all around the wing. And she won by unanimous decision, you know, 100-89 on 2 cards, and 99 to 90 on 1 card, which is kind of messed up. But it was really a whitewash. Sheilds was too much for Hazabin, and now she's Hazabin. And she made history becoming the fastest boxer to become world champion in 3 weight divisions in the shortest amount of fights. In just 10 fights. Carissa did it at 10. I want to just say congratulations to Carissa. And I guess you could call her the greatest women's fighter of all time by her accomplishments, 2 gold medals and 3 divisional champions. Is a 3 divisional champion in 10 fights, faster than anybody in the history in boxing. Lamo did it in 12, but he had the right. He got set up to do it that way. I really wish they did some other fighters like, some other fighters with skills like that. But it wasn't allowed to be so. Nevertheless, it's a Carissa Shields night. She accomplished a lot. And I wanted to send a big shout out and a big congratulations to Carissa Shields for accomplishing her goal and her mission of being a 3-time champion in 3 different weight divisions, faster than any boxer in the history of boxing. So, I don't know what's next for her. I don't know if she's going to fight Cedar Roos or not. I know Cedar Roos don't want no smoke right now from Carissa Shields. I'm getting tired. But damn, she don't want no smoke. Excuse me. She don't want no smoke from Cedar Roos. She was asked if she wanted to fight Carissa Shields. Because, it's the next opponent. And Cedar Roos didn't want to answer the question. She felt like she was, she was being put on the spot, and she felt some type of way. She did not answer that question and didn't want to answer that question. Other than that, it was a big night. History was made. And kudos and congratulations to Carissa Shields. The future is very bright for her. She talked about fighting going to be on the undercard of Wilder or under the undercard of Earl Spence Jr. She wants to be in the line, in the lights with them fellas, and she deserves to be there because the woman she's accomplished a lot. So she deserved to be there. She deserved to be put on them undercards. And that will promote her and also brighten her brand, expand her brand. And all she missing in her repertoire is she learned to just sit on her punches and start knocking these females out. It'd be really something to watch then. I'm trying to think of this boxer, the female boxer that was knocking females out. The one that trained James Kirkland. I can't think of her name right now. But if she had her power to go with her skills, oh man, Shields probably wouldn't even get no fights. Because old girl was a beast back in her day. I know her name, she's on top of my tongue. I can't even think of her right now. Damn. Start keeping the stove covered up outside. But yeah. Next, we got tomorrow night, we got Jesse Hart versus Joe Smith Jr. on ESPN. That's what we got. We got Jesse Hart versus Joe Smith Jr. on ESPN this Saturday night. I'm going to tune into that, and I'm going to give y'all my post-fight reaction on that. and let y'all know what happened in that fight, because that's going to be a very, very good fight too. But so far, so good. This year's looking real good. The fight's coming off really good. I ain't got no complaints. We got a fight. It seemed like every week this month. We got a fight next weekend on Showtime again. Coming up. I forget the names of these guys. And also we got the week after that a fight, I believe on the 17th. Then we got something in January. I'm not sure. But just stay tuned. That's the Boxing 411 post-fight reaction from your boy RC. And I get back at y'all one time again. Holla.